They've got. I imagine they just picked the mid lane matchup here into the Void Spirit. They could go for Storm. Oh no, Storm's banned. Is Ember banned? Ember is banned. Wow. Just grab the. Oh my gosh. All these heroes. I was like, yeah, pick one of these 4 heroes. They're all banned.
Yeah. Not much to choose from here.
I guess you could go as Invoker. You have Tidehunter, Ravage, Fiend's Grip. Invoker would not be bad.
Yeah, I don't think you can get away with going Storm Spirit here.
Storm
Uh,
Spirit's banned. First phase.
oh, whoops.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Storm
I guess.
Spirit, Ember, Kunkka, Tiny. Um, all heroes that I was thinking that would be good here. Even the Pango would have been good. I feel like Invoker is not bad. As long as Yuma is like comfortable on it, I feel like it's pretty good. Or I'm sorry, Mr. Jeans. Mr. Jeans plays a good Invoker.
Mr. Jeans plays a good lot of heroes. His Storm Spirit is an absolute beast, though.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I think of when I think of the guy. 30 seconds of reserve time left. I mean, I don't think the Invoker's awful here. You pick up a BKB a lot of the time. Naturally, you're playing against a Night Stalker. Uh, it's difficult for the Void Spirit to get on top of you, and he'll need his Aghanim Scepter to be able to silence you up when he is on top of you. You've got decent setup and damage for Ravage. You take the Death Prophet instead. I guess they were kind of lacking for tower damage at that point. So this hero not nearly as popular ever since they changed around how silence works, being having to fly out to the targets.
Yeah, it's a very odd change. It is really strong in lane here against the Void Spirit, so it gives them that benefit. Like you can just play really aggressive here on the lane, maxing out that Spirit Siphon. We'll see how it goes. And if Void Spirit decides to leave the lane, which is some things that we see Void Spirits do, like it's a hero that can rotate pretty easily. And if the Death Prophet sees that, we'll just take a tower with the Exorcism, or can just rotate to one of the side lanes, popping that Exorcism to finish off a tower themselves. So they ban out the Treant Protector, so they're actually expecting this to be Core Gyro, Core Night Stalker. And they just don't want to deal with the potential of the tower fort, or like the tower healing coming in from the Treant here.
5 seconds remain.
Oh, you're muted, Neff.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, I was just shooting a quick message to Hokori's manager. I realized that I didn't ask them ahead of time if they wanted to do an interview if they win. So just shot a message out to him or her. Honestly, don't know. Anyway, last bands coming out, they get rid of the lifesteal, they get rid of the Faceless Void, so I guess they're worried about them being able to fight into the Night Stalker, into the Void Spirit, soak up a lot of damage because it is magical here. On the other side, if they ban out the Treant Protector, they're thinking it's going to be a position 1 Gyrocopter. They get rid of the Slark just in case because it's too good against Tidehunter.
Yeah, I think the main thing with the Treant is they just don't want to deal with the tower healing, right? Like if Death Prophet commits an exorcism and it doesn't find a tower, your tower taking is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
So it's something Gardic does play a decent amount as well.
10 seconds.
Mhm.
5
I'm curious what they decided to grab here. It's probably a carry in my opinion. I think we are going to see Gardic on the Gyrocopter. Actually, you could pick an offlane. I think it's going to be Gardic, Night Stalker, 1 position Gyro, and we're about to see a new offlane hero here.
Yes. Hmm. I don't know. I don't like Night Stalker in anything other than position 3. I know it's run outside of position 3 pretty often.
Radiant's turn to pick.
They're grabbing a bad.
Okay. Great against the Tidehunter, instantly able to get himself and another hero out of the Ravage. Unless you get silenced up. So a lot of that's going to come down to the Death Prophet, but like we said, since the change to it being a projectile, it's a lot more difficult to line that combo up.
Remain.
Yep. I like to see a Dispel here. I was thinking that they might grab an Oracle, but hard Dispel from the Abaddon, the Shield coming out to interrupt the Bane, get people out of the arrow. A solid grab there. And last pick is going to be the Terrorblade. That is a very good last pick. I'm not sure they're going to have the damage to burst this guy down. They're going to need to end this game very quickly.
This is a really good Terrorblade game.
Yeah. That Murano set looks very creepy.
Yeah, kind of.
The eyes on that, it looks like a taxidermy cat, I'm going to be honest.
It might be.
It looks dead. The octopus that Tidehunter is carrying has a lot more energy. And
That is
plus,
true.
the octopus is blinking. Mirana Cat does not blink. I think that what makes it even more creepy. Enough about hats, though. I think the Terrible pick is very sick. Analog's gonna have his work cut out for him in mid lane. I think it's gonna be pretty easy for Mr. Jeans to soak up farm here, just spamming out Crypt Swarm onto the creep wave. The moment you rotate to try and find a kill in another lane, he's going to commit the exorcism onto the mid tower, or he's going to make a rotation of his own on Mr. Jeans. I thought that we'd have a very quick 2-0 today, but I'm preferring the lineup here on D2 Hustlers for game 2.
I am too. I think this last pick, Terrorblade, is way too strong. It's going to be very difficult for Hokori to deal with him. The only answer you have is pretty much this gyrocopter absolutely bodying this offlane Tide and having pretty much the start he did last time, right? Getting to a really early Ags and Chrysalis.
All right. Just finished my conversation with the manager of Zero. Looks like we're all lined up. I have somebody planned for the interview, but that one's going to be a surprise. That is only if Hokori win this one, though. Not going to distract the players until then. And again, my preference is on D2 Hustlers. I'm 3 for 0 so far today, Ricky. I don't mean to brag or anything, but here I am bragging.
Very humble of you.
Yeah. You know, when you whipped out the notepad at the beginning of today, you tapped it with a huge grin on your face and thought, you know what? Today's the day I finally put Ricky in the dirt. Man's been getting a bit of an ego lately.
30 seconds to battle.
What with his, higher MMR, excellent taste in dress shirts, great taste in friends, excellent production on his stream, twitch.tv/rkryptic, everybody.
Oh my god. True though, I do great production. That is a fact. It's known.
Yeah. I wonder if I'm gonna get yelled at for plugging your stream multiple times.
I'm gonna have plausible deniability here. I didn't ask for this.
Yeah, you really didn't ask for it. You just said, it'd be nice if I got some advertising. You gave me a wink and then slipped me like $200.
Shh. We don't have to talk. We don't have to say that out loud.
All right, we're off to game number 4 today. Second game of the second series. Midline, I do imagine, is going to go Mr. Jeans' way, and he's already getting a lot of harass off of an analog here in the mid lane.
It's just gotten Crypt Swarm level 1, which I actually kind of like because this is how I usually try to play the Death Prophet. It just allows you to secure this range creep, guaranteed against the Void Spirit, who has very good attack animation. So it's not the easiest. You can just get denies off pretty easily. So yeah, he'll opt to go back for the Spirit Siphon here as his next ability.
Wow, he's forced to use the 2 abilities there to try and secure the range creep, and he ends up taking a lot of harass as well. He is not having a good time. He tries to throw out a taunt to pretend everything's okay, but you can see the psychic damage is there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Mr. Jean's doing pretty dang well here. Let's take a look at top, though. We got Gardic on the Abaddon, Divine Llama playing the Mirana. Tidehunter, once again by Monster, who did not have a fantastic game 1, let's be real.
I told him to hang in there, that he's North America's last hope. He's carrying all of our dreams on his back this game. And he replied to me with an XD.
He said XD, I thought this was an SA-only tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Divine Llama taking a lot of damage from this Rocket Barrage, not quite level 2, tries to pop the salve, and there it is. First blood for Gyrocopter once again.
All that happens, you end up losing an extra 100 gold. In the mid lane, Mr. Jean does manage to completely zone Analog out of the lane, but we hit the 2-minute mark. He gets his bottle delivered, and unfortunately, Mr. Jean's bottle doesn't arrive in time, so Death Prophet's going to be forced to pick up this water rune without taking a sip. But nice kill that they found up there on the top lane. A decent start for Hokori. Divine Llama really needed those leap charges in order to get away from that one. Does have them now, though.
Yeah, also gets a D ward on the hard camp as well, which is really important for him.
Bottom lane. And so Raz comes out from both sides here. Yudomi's
They've
kind
got a
of far up.
nightmare. They might be able to find this kill as long as they can get vision of him. They actually have 0 points in the reflection, so it's not easy. Yudomi?
He doesn't want to nightmare himself again. That would be very embarrassing.
Yeah, there
And
it
he
is.
lets
It's gonna be a
BMF
kill.
help. Yep. Very clean. Well, he's got the way of two hustlers as well. In the mid lane, he continues to try and zone out this Void Spirit. He's got a couple denies over him, but other than that, things are pretty even. It's about where it should be for this matchup. I'd say that Analog is exceeding expectations a little bit.
Yeah.
I think this range harass from Death Prophet is very annoying to deal with.
A bauble from the void.
But with the extra regen, water runes, bounties, it'll be hard to completely zone Analog out of the lane. Courier?
Where?
Yeah, my man. Divine Llama.
Oh,
man,
Divine Llama snipes a
lane.
ton. All right, nice. I mean, that's
This guy's
actually
good.
had the wards and the regen on it there for Gardic, so that's a good find.
He's got his courier, by the way, the Kawaii Llama.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite couriers.
Yeah. What a lad. We're lucky to have him in the NADPC. Shout out to Divine Llama.
4 minutes here. Vitali just really looking forward to first night here, but I'm actually gonna get aggressive here onto the Bane. I don't think he really minds all that much. He can just trade so easily. Got another brain sap coming up in a moment. They might be able to. How long on meta? 40 seconds though, so pretty much gonna time up with first night exactly. Gonna have to wait for that one. He got another courier. Oh no.
This guy's good. I mean, that's that deep wards cuts out couriers. Right behind the tower. It's not an uncommon ward spot, so they'll probably get the D ward off on it. If you get your courier out there anyways.
Nice play in the mid lane. Jean's actually fording this range creep to get a lot more damage out onto Analog with that Spirit Siphon and ends up surviving thanks to a nice Remnant, but now your tower is in a really rough spot and you're about to get 6 on Mr. Jeans, which means you can just go right for the Exorcism, and there it is. They do have Fort here on the side of Hokori. He is going to be forced to use that. Jean's going to clarity up as well. But without any runes, he doesn't have a ton of mana to work with here.
He'll be able to throw out one Crypt Swarm here. Try and push the tower in faster. If he
There's an
even
arrow
drops
coming
arrow,
through. Snipes the enemy
catapult.
catapult. So, again, chip damage onto this tower. It's not going to find the kill, but they did force both supports from the side lanes mid, and they still did about half the health bar.
Yep. And she heals. They heal back up on Mr. Jeans. Thanks, yeah, he's returning. I would like to see a little bit more damage in the tier 1 tower, but again, with the two here supports rotating in, that was the best you were going to do. Top lane, or top river, Gardic. Oh, you lose the 50-50.
It's going to be
I
a
hate to see
haste
it.
for Analog. That's quite big. You can come bottom with this if he ever like sees the opening, and it's like that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yep. 2 points Hunter the Knight, 1 point Void. And I imagine, yeah, they're just going to try to run at Yuma here. You don't have a lot of HP on Terrorblade. You got to switch to strength trades here.
Actually missed with the first Astral Step, which might give Yuma enough time to survive. He's got a stick as well. Did already pop it. The saves, is it there? Vitali almost dies to the tower. And that's going to be an arrow follow-up onto the Rubik. They will find that kill with ease. And Yuma just going to get topped back off thanks to a salve and an urn.
Yeah, like you said, the first Astral Strap missing ended up costing him there. You don't have much HP on Terrorblade, but he switched to strength trade. You popped the wand, and it ended up being enough. And, you wasted a good chunk of your first night trying to find that kill and the haste rune. The top lane, we haven't talked about this one in a while, but you're third on the net worth right now on the Tidehunter. He's doing just fine. I mean, Gyrocopter is essentially free farming here as well, but Monster is having a much better game than he did last time.
Yeah, he only went for 1 point in the flag here. They don't have like the setup from Bane to be able to punish Tidehunter as much, so this is a much better time for Monster. I mean, he was like 5th or 6th on the net worth last game. He's now currently 3rd, basically tied with the Terrorblade, and he's gonna be able to just drag waves. This is really smart, just applying pressure and getting some free chip damage onto this tower.
Well, looks like they're. It looked like they were grouping up for a smoke on the heroes on. Oh yeah, he just picks one up on Yadomi. He doesn't have a ton of mana to work with. In fact, Mr. Jeans, he might just opt to push in the mid wave and drop his exorcism again. The only issue is he doesn't have that much mana.
And did this last time, pop the exorcism without any mana. And it's gonna be an arcane grabbed by Gardic top. I mean, losing the 50-50 on the rune twice now is really got to be a rough spot for the Death Prophet. Actually, smoke bottom.
Arcane rune would have been amazing.
Want to go for a Nightmare into Arrow setup here. It is nighttime though. He is so hard to gank. Yuma can be the one that finds him. Pops the reflection, in comes the Bane. Nightmare is there, and there's the arrow to follow with the urn into the metamorphosis. Vitali, will he even die? Looks like that last auto attack connects. Devi Llama gets the kill and finds the courier.
Oh, with the Sage's Mask and the raindrops on it. Oh god, that sounds horrifying. You just hear the metamorphosis again and again as the illusion was topping
Going
and out of range.
Yeah, popping in and out of range. I love that.
Yeah. Good. Nice find there onto the Night Stalker now. Try to use the rest of this metamorphosis duration to try to shove in the tower, but I'm not sure how much damage they're gonna find.
He's just gonna farm.
Yeah. Smarter choice.
And Vitali's actually coming back. He knows that there's this stack here. Does not want to give it up for free. Where did Yadomi just die? In the triangle, trying to get some wards out, it seems. Ends up just dropping before he can do anything.
Yeah. Telekine's just up. They lose Gardic as well up in the top tower. Exorcism committed for this one, and I don't think there's going to be much you can do to stop them from taking the tier 1 top. Fortify should only pull in for 30 seconds here. Mr. Jeans will certainly be able to get this kill.
Yeah, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade on the towers here, though. No one can really go back bottom. You got Void, level 4 up, Dark Ascension available, RDO, finish the Chrysalis. So there's a ton of damage between these 3 cores in this bottom lane, and you're just going to give that one up. It is space, though, as they're committing 3 for this tower where you only had to commit the Death Prophet ult, so not too bad. For the side of D2 Hustlers, they have a slight net worth advantage here at the 10-minute mark. Coming out of first night, you got to be pretty happy about that.
We lost the 50-50 on the rune again on DP.
Oh my god, another haste rune.
Yeah. At the very least, big stack, like you mentioned. You almost have Boots of Travel completed, so you can be able to move around the map fairly easily. Alright. RDO very farmed, though.
Yeah, he is towering over these other heroes just by about 1,000 net worth, and his team, though, struggling a little bit on both the Void Spirit and the Night Stalker. It is expected the Void Spirit's going to lose that mid lane matchup, but you got to be careful. You don't want to get ran over by this tricore of D2 Hustlers here, and right now they're looking to go to the mid lane. El Misho actually manages to steal level 4 Crypt Swarm, so that might actually stop the push here as they're getting ready to wrap around. Haste rune comes in from Analog Monster. He doesn't have Ravage. He's just dead.
Yeah, they commit on to him, but like you said, without the Ravage, there's no punish for that, like we saw in game number 1 when they tried to dive him.
And again, there's the vision. That advantage provided by the Night Stalker. Nightmare trying to give him some space, but gonna go down. Mr. Jeans now chasing after Vitali. Will actually survive based off the arrow. The urn, is it enough? He pops a salve, still in it, trying to take down. He gets the kill. Mr. Jeans continue to chase here. Not gonna be able to pick down El Misho though, as he's gonna TP out.
There's a Cobalt now sitting on the high ground, and we'll be there for quite some time.
Did he dig the Cobalt up there?
He did. He did.
Poor guy.
Can we go cinematic view real quick? And zoom in on the Cobalt, please?
Dude, look at it. He's surrounded by a bunch of trees. They'll never see him.
Yeah. This is where he lives. This is his home. He's King Cobalt.
I honestly always thought that that ward point was taller than the trees. Today I learned all of the trees around it are way taller.
Yeah, they go quite a bit over him, in fact, which is weird because the Observer Ward gives you vision over all those trees.
Yeah, that's where I'm confused.
Yeah. Huh.
non-realistic game here.
Unplayable, actually.
Smoke up here in the mid lane from D2 Hustlers. They have the Ravage available now on Monster. No Blink. But he does have the Tumbler's toy. Underrated initiation item.
Just as good, honestly. Monster, yeah.
It's basically a Blink. It's basically a Blink, let's be real.
So, into the Tidehunter, they're too hesitant to jump Monster this time around. They know he's got Ravage up. They're going to be able to turn a fight around on them pretty quickly. Terrorblade's still farming. He's working on his... Was he got flying out to himself right now? I thought he'd go Manta style, but he's just got the Yasha. Then he's to go for the Dragonlance next.
All right.
No, Sanjin Yasha, it looks like. Even though he's got the Dragonlance queued up. Interesting. Status resistance doesn't seem amazing this game. I mean, to get you out of gyrocopter stuff, but Night Stalker being on top of you isn't going to be helped by the status resist. I feel like you just go Manta BKB or Yasha into I have Scotty BKB or something like that.
I think he just like knows that he's gonna need health this game. Like he needs to be able to tank up a little bit. And so like the casual Yasha is for farm, the Dragon Lance is for health, and then he might still go back for the Manta.
Yep.
Mid lane, Dark Ascension comes out. They're looking for Monster. The Crippling Fear duration might be enough to silence him up. Do they get the Ravage off? He does! Last second, stunning them all. Abaddon, though, just pops that borrowed time and walks away. Arrow not going to connect, and without that Ravage, I mean, maybe you find the kill on Gardic. No, he's going to be saved there for the moment, and Vitaly's still flying above the skies, grabs the Bane. Backside of the fight, it's going to be Mr. Jeans. He finishes off Gardic, but he's all alone. He doesn't have Exo for a few seconds. He needs help, and Yuma might be the one to do it, but he just gets blown apart by Analog Sunder for the moment, giving him the space, but there's going to be a Remnant. El Misho taking a lot of damage here. Arrow on the money from Devi Lama, and that is a dead Rubik. Still a pretty good fight here for the side of Hokori as they managed to get the kill onto that Death Prophet, but
they find 4 kills for 2 at the very end of that fight. So they lose Rubik and the Abaddon, but they found Tidehunter. They forced the Ravage. They've got Bane, Mirana, and even Death Prophet towards the end of that one. So Hokori looking good. Unfortunately, Terrorblade continues to farm. You have not managed to slow him down at all. He's got the I have Scotty queued up next. Which is going to do wonders against the Gyrocopter, who, instead of going physical damage, he's got a Maelstrom queued up after his Chrysalis. I like the magic damage against the Terrorblade, but that feels kind of bizarre to me, to go both of them.
yeah, the Chrysalis usually is like your farming item, and Maelstrom would be like the alternative. And so, yeah, it feels like you're investing pretty heavily in some of these early game items, as opposed to like trying to tank up on the Gyrocopter and do your damage that way. But I guess when you have a Vitaly, Night Stalker, and Gardic on this Abaddon behind you, you may not need to tank up.
Yeah.
Mid lane tier 1 does finally end up going down here as Hokori brings all 5 heroes for this.
Put Bane by himself in the bottom lane. I guess he's just trying to farm up the 8th lane. He's not far enough away from the enemy heroes to be able to disengage or get Nightmares off into the Night Stalker. That is one thing you have to worry about. Like, Bane, he's awful against the Night Stalker in the way that he's not able to dispel Crippling Fear, but Night Stalker usually plays kind of far from the rest of his team as he does his initiation. If he can get the Nightmare off onto him when he's on the other side of a fight, you just end up winning. All right.
Oh, they're going
Night
for the
Stalker
play here. The Boots of
time.
Travel reveal into that Fiend's Grip. Can Mr. Jeans bring down Night Stalker in time? He's got the Spirit Siphons. Is it? There it is. But the rest of the team rotating. There's going to be the call down. Jeans, he's all alone. Nightmare going to heal him up quite a bit, but I don't know if it's enough. A stolen Fiend's Grip from El Misho. Turns it right around as they manage to find the kill, and now Analog here with a DD. That Moonlight Shadow will protect the Bane, but it was not enough to get out on this Death Prophet, and that's a big cooldown. You got Fiend's Grip and the Exorcism just for the Night Stalker.
Yep. At this point, I think that Yudomi, he's going to put a point into his Enfeeble. Always drop that after he's done using his Fiend's Grip. But that was a rough fight. Like, they set up there on the Night Stalker, they TP and they force the Exorcism, and they still end up losing the DP at the end of that fight. So definitely not worth it for them. Again, Gyrocopter out farming Yuma at the same time while all this goes on.
And that's the thing, Gyrocopter, if he manages to stay ahead of this Terrorblade, he's going to feel so dang strong. And it looks like he's probably going to go the BKB before the Maelstrom, at least hopefully, based on how he has this queued up. It's a 5-man smoke here from Hokori. They're looking to get aggressive here, and they're just going to find Monster. Crippling Fear once again preventing Ravage, and he's just dead. The amount of damage that they put out here on the side of Hokori, just going right into the Roshan now. Dark Ascension plus obviously this Gyrocopter is more than enough.
Yeah. Sometimes they're not going to be able to turn this one around. They might try to look to stall it out. Arrow comes out, ends up connecting on the analog, but instantly he's dispelled. He's too bad. There's no way they go for this, right?
I know you don't Tidehunter. There's no way you go for this.
They're going for it.
Well, call down comes through. Mr. Jeans comes in with the silence. Arrow connects onto the Abaddon, but just going to be out for the moment. Mr. Jeans coming in, trying to do what he can. Maybe he can bring down one of these heroes. The Gyrocopter falling incredibly low, but Bane's just pulled away off to the side. The Crippling Fear making his life miserable.
The prize is mine.
Not only do they not find anything, but they also lose the Bane. You need the Tidehunter for this one, but Tidehunter needs something himself. I mean, with that Crippling Fear, he's never able to get off these Ravages. Stalker always on top of him, and having to build a BKB on Tidehunter would be miserable.
He just needs like Halberd Force Staff, which is what he has queued up, right? Like the evasion plus the ability to quickly Force Staff himself away from this Night Stalker might be enough. Divine Llama goes down mid. Oh, that's a stolen Feeds Grip still. I didn't realize he still had it.
Yeah.
Great use of that spell before it disappears here in just a couple moments.
Yeah, he has so much cast range right now at the Rubik. Aether Limbs on top of Arcane Supremacy.
4-point Arcane Supremacy, yeah.
Yeah. If you're on his screen, then you're Fiend Script.
And RDO did in fact go up and finish that Black King Var, so that combined with the Aegis can be very difficult to get this Gyrocopter. They've got to somehow blow up Gardic, but with borrowed time, it's just not possible. You need to have some way of like breaking and silencing him, which, you know, you do have the silence on the Death Prophet, but there is no break that's going to be coming out for their team. Arrow comes out bottom, DD rune scouted top. I mean, that is a potential play here for the side of D2 Hustlers if they can grab it on this Terrorblade, who, you know, almost has his Eye of Scotty, just a couple hundred gold away here.
Yeah, this one is a big one. At that point, you might be able to stand your ground, actually deal damage back. BKB is also pretty crucial, though. We'll see. They'll sell his Quelling Bow after he clears up this camp. Actually, no, not even necessary. They probably will.
I'll swap it in.
Okay. I mean, wouldn't it used to provide you with like bonus percentage damage you gain? It's creep. You would keep it all game, but with the 12 damage, it's sometimes not worth the inventory slot, especially as the game goes on.
At this point, it's like just good for like cutting certain trees for efficient farming. Moonlight Shadow comes out and they turn it around right away. Looking at the Bane, Vitali catches a Ravage. The backside also caught by this into a Fiend's Grip, but Gardic able to keep him alive. Trying to chase after him though. Mr. Jeans is here, still hasn't committed the exorcism. Gardic just gonna throw his body in harm's way. And for Ravage, Fiend's Grip, all you get is an Abaddon. That's a pretty great trade if you're Hokori here.
Yeah, they're more than happy about that one. And immediately Analog starts cutting, so what they're able to get off of this fight is limited. Gyrocopter on the opposite side of the map, but I think they will try to run down the mid lane. But by the time you get over to that tower, now, you're gonna be back up on the Abaddon.
It was Dark Ascension cooldown as well, though, so they don't have to worry too much about that, which is nice for the side of D2 Hustlers. But yeah, I think they're just going back to farming. They want to try and get this Terrorblade to the top of this net worth chart, and it's not an easy task. Like beating this Gyrocopter who has this Aegis for another minute. I imagine he's not going to finish the Maelstrom, right? Analog, he finds the right Terrorblade. There's a stolen arrow. It's off the mark though, just barely, and it's going to be enough to save this Terrorblade. And Mr. Jeans comes in, drops that exorcism, just going to beat down the Rubik. The question is, can you get more? No nighttime for Vitali. RDO gets seen here by Mr. Jeans. I don't know if you can dive this, can you? He says, why not? I'm going to try. Call down comes through. He's got so much damage on this Death Prophet. That's the first life. Yadomi's here as well. Arrow not gonna connect. RDO gets the BKB off, and he's just gonna TP out. Divine Llama actually finds Gardic here though, and that's a dead Abaddon. There's no way he can get out of this one.
I mean, at the very least, he's making space. They're off the buildings for a little bit, but I think they still will lose. Will lose that tier 2 anyways. As Abaddon does end up going down, tier 2 tower, dying to creeps, and
Right into the
already cut their
outpost.
loss. Yeah, they already cut their loss, and Corey have been looking for pushes on the other side of the map. But I think things will start to swing back in D2 Hustler's favor. The net worth is just worth a little bit more on the Terror Blade, the Gyrocopter, and he does end up going for the Maelstrom. Okay. Again, I'm not crazy about this one. It feels like the magic damage is really good against the TB, but for any other purpose, you're way better off spending your gold on any other item.
Like almost going for the S and Y here.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess the logic is your magic damage to blow up the Terror Blade, who's got tons of armor. And I get it, but I feel like you're better off just getting bigger damage for bigger physical crits or clearing out the majority of TB's team instead of relying on this magical damage and
they
stronger
smoke
push.
up on 5. They find Yuma in the mid lane. He's dodging out some spells. Fiend's Grip catches the Night Stalker, but that's going to get canceled by the telekinesis. And Death Prophet gets Fiend's Grip instead. El Misho once again making some fantastic plays on this Rubik as they continue to look for more. Vitali here on top of Divine Llama. Monster, he's got a Ravage, and he's gonna have to pop it to save his team. They buy back on the Bane. Yuma comes in with this Scotty, but they just disengage. Can they find anything? It's just gonna be Gardic potentially on the Abaddon, but they don't want to go up onto the high ground.
Arrow does end up connecting,
Telekinesis, they managed to snipe Divine Llama. The cast range from El Misho.
I mean, you expended a buyback for this one. You lost 3 heroes in total. You ended up losing Mirana at the tail end of that fight. You commit your Metamorphosis, you commit the Ravage. Hokori, amazing teamfight ability here. I mean, it just never feels like they're able to turn around on Yuma. BKB is being worked on by him, but still, another, 1150 gold for that one.
Harm unseen.
I don't know. I feel like they can't hold their ground in these team fights. There's just too much damage coming out too fast from Corey heroes now. And your lockdown just instantly gets dispelled by Abaddon. The Bane pick feels, I mean, I don't want to say useless, but it feels very underwhelming this game.
All right, they grab bottom outpost and instantly smoke up here, but without the gyro. He's just going to TP back to the mid tier 2 though, so he wants to defend. He is now ready to fight. The scan catches them in the Radiant, or catches the Radiant in their jungle. Vitali looking for Monster. Crippling Fear, decent duration of it is wasted, but he doesn't have Ravage. Tidehunter trying to just buy some time here in this Roche pit, and he's breaking some ankles as well. He will end up going down here eventually, but... Right?
I mean, it's working.
Yeah.
Did buy a lot of time there.
Hiding in
Alright,
the
this is-
corners of that Roche pit is actually so annoying.
They're actually doing a decent chunk of damage to this tier 3 tower because of all that stalling they did.
Hey,
I
right?
think they got like 9 damage off onto it. One more auto attack and like 900. Yeah. Even more than that, in fact. Oh no.
I had
never
high
mind.
ground missed. Wait, can catapults high ground miss?
Yeah. But high ground missed there. Well, that was pretty funny. The tower ended up losing 900 health. So nice stalling there from Tide. And they've got 1 minute and 30 seconds until the Roche ends up respawning. So a little bit longer than half duration respawn.
They're sitting up on top here. Death Prophet's courier gonna get found and doesn't respond in time, just dies.
Yep.
That's big. He's on his way to his Shivas. He's gonna have to be able to pick that one up bottom instead, at least. Psychic Headband, Blast Rig, some decent tier 3 item drops here for both teams. It's actually smoked up on the side of D2 Hustlers. You don't have your Death Prophet here. You gotta get this D ward as well. You can't afford to go into the triangle with that vision.
Nope.
Mr. Gene's just continuing to push bottom lane with his Crypt Swarm cooldown, and he's got the Shivas now. He's gonna happen to find double bounty rune as well. Stonks, baby.
Let's go. Enchanted Quiver found on the Gyrocopter. That's gonna increase your damage quite a bit. And 30 seconds until Roshan. Death Prophet probably need to start making her way over there. Everybody's got their ults available right now. Everybody's gonna have to find another spell to steal before this fight breaks out, though.
Ooh, there's the Titan Sliver for the Gyrocopter. They didn't have it last game, but
Arcane
he found it now, and with this status resistance, he's got to be very happy. Daedalus completed. Now going for the Swift Blink.
Yeah, so right on top of the targets, blow up this, yeah, blow up the Death Prophet even quicker, blow up the Terrorblade even quicker. I think this is kind of a luxury item. There's other things to grab. I'm just not sure what they are. I think you figure over it. I'm more than tanky enough. I don't need an Eye of Scotty or a Satanic this game. I just need damage.
Yeah, he's the only one who can kill the Terrorblade. Like, he has to get on top of this Terrorblade and kill him through the meta, and it's not an easy task, so. I like the Blink. You can go in with the Night Stalker, which, by the way, now has a gem. Gem BKB Orchid is the build here for the Night Stalker, disassembling what I think was an Echo Saber into the BKB. Oh, Gardic gonna scout out this Roche attempt, and Mr. Gene's trying to force that borrowed time. Doesn't quite get it. There's no way you get this Roche, right? It's way too slow. They're trying. There's gonna be the Dark Ascension in from Vitali on this Night Stalker, and
they're gonna try to take the Roche for themselves. You're fighting into the Exorcism. 3
he
points
goes into the pit on the backside of the fight. They're looking to grab the Bane, and it looks like he's going to be able to do it here on this Night Stalker. Monster comes in, silenced up for the moment. He's got to get a Ravage. He drops it, but it's dodged by both cores. Vitali, the only one who really gets caught by it. He still manages to survive. Mr. Gene's, that Exorcism is expired. RDO trying to TP out, but they get the kill. The crits from Yuma. Analog now, one Astral Step left in the tank. He's going to be able to make it home. They buy back on the Gyro. They buy back on the Mirana. Your Night Stalker's got to go all the way back home, though. Well, he actually delivers himself a salve right away instead. Gonna get healed up by Gardic.
It'll buy you a little bit of time, but Exorcism down. I mean, Night has just ended as well. Dark Ascension on cooldown for a couple of seconds. I think they're going to be able to take this on D2 Hustlers. They'll try to get tested right now in Hokori, but I don't think they have it in them anymore. Not without the BKB on the Gyrocopter.
I think they don't care. There's no meta. They can't fight it anymore. Arrow does hit the Gyro, but yeah, it doesn't matter. He goes in once again on Divine Llama. He tries it. Doesn't end up working out.
The double leap forward. Solid attempt, but he ends up paying for it. So, despite all, it wasn't enough. The Ravage just wasn't able to connect onto enough people. I think if Monster gets a solid Ravage off, this game gets a lot easier, but you know, they're first picking this time. They're managing to grab so many counters to it in these games.
I mean, Analog able to dodge it with the Yules. There was already a BKB out on RDO, and the Ravage, I mean, it almost netted a kill onto the Void Spirit, but it didn't matter. Now you again have this Aegis on the Gyrocopter. We talked about, he's itemizing for that Swift Blink as his next item. They're gonna go ahead and deward the Radiant Triangle here. Nice usage of the gem.
And the courier.
I mean, you could just drop the gem. I don't know why they brought the courier all the way out for this.
Baby Roshan's doing his best.
That's true, I guess. He's cute.
He is. Not as cute as you, Ricky.
Aw. It's not.
All right, they're smoking up, looking for a kill onto Radiant Heroes, but Yuma, he's wise to it, already TP's out. The best they're going to find at this rate is Udomi, who's got to teleport himself.
He's going to get the tier 1 bottom at least, so some gold going his way, plus still farming up pretty heavily on this illusion. They thought he'd still be in the Radiant jungle there, but like you said, they're mistaken, and a lot of this smoke duration is pretty much just wasted, not going to connect onto anything.
Yeah. At this point, I think concerned about the amount of control that the D2 Hustlers still have over the map. So they take the outpost, they shove in the top lane, trying to keep all 3 lanes shoved in when they use this Aegis. Swift Blink still being worked on by the Gyrocopter, by the way. He's got 4K under his belt at the moment. It does do a lot of damage with the Daedalus and the Maelstrom, but again, this guy will die pretty easily without the Aegis.
And Terrorblade does have a Daedalus just now finished up, so we saw the amount of damage he put out in this last fight with just the Chrysalis, and it's going to get a lot scarier if he's managed to stay on top of this Gyrocopter.
Yep.
Once if the Gyrocopter's not standing on top of him. Who wins in this scenario?
In the 1v1?
I feel like it's the Terrorblade, right?
Yeah.
You don't have a
TV.
Satanic or anything.
TV definitely wins the 1v1, but it's never as easy as that. He's got so many teammates with him. He's got a bad, who's going to be healing him up and dispelling him. And I already see him. He's almost got enough money for a Swift Blink, but I think he's going to finish it around the same time the Aegis expires on Gyro. Actually, he's got enough money for it now. He's going to go for it.
Yeah, I like this decision. Just grabbing the Swift Blink, just backpack your boots and play really fast. And then queues up the Satanic after that, and this is the
no,
item.
he's got Butterfly instead.
Oh. Okay, well that changes things a lot. This Terrorblade not having an MKB, it does provide evasion against Death Prophet's Exorcism Spirits too, doesn't it?
No.
Those can be evaded, can't they?
No.
Are you sure?
Yep. They can't be evaded or damage blocked.
Okay. For some reason I thought they could be evaded.
I don't think I'm wrong, but you speak with such confidence, Ricky.
I mean, I feel like that was a thing, but maybe not. Like my brain was telling me that was the only way to like reduce the damage, but clearly I'm wrong. All right, Dark Ascension Force, double Astral Step. He does have an Arcane Rune here on Analog though, so he's not too upset about it. They're gonna try and just focus on this tier 2 in the mid. They don't have the creep wave quite yet though, so it's gonna take them a moment. And this Dark Ascension cooldown, pretty much gonna get wasted.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a stolen arrow.
All right, yeah, everyone's gonna get back now. You got a Lotus Orb queued up on Rubik at the moment, which it would make things getting in. Well, it'll make getting in a lot easier for the Night Stalker who's got his BKB right now. Well, he's got BKB, Blink Dagger, Blast Strike. I think he's pretty safe as is, but you get a Lotus Orb on top of that, it's gonna make the game incredibly easy.
So Mr. Jeans actually picked up the Death Prophet Shard, which is like the extra 1 max charges, and then the Fear after 4 seconds, which I've not seen this shard be extremely useful, but it could do some work in these fights. The problem is you still got the BKBs.
Yeah. At that point, you're not doing anything. I don't know. 1,400 gold for the fear, 2-second fear. If you can keep that thing going, though, is a way to punish them for committing onto you. Because, like you said, the only person that's going to be able to do damage to the Terrorblade in the late game is the Gyrocopter. So you can somehow force him out of the fights and keep the Terrorblade on him. 1,400 gold's a bargain for that effect.
Nice disengage there by Hokori. They saw the smoke coming through, and they just cut a wave top and TP out on everyone. RDO actually finds a DD rune as well, so no more Aegis, but you do have a really strong Gyrocopter who's now on his way to a Satanic. Analog gonna bottle up a regen rune there, quite nice. All right, Lincoln Spheres coming out. I'd like to see some Lotus. Oh, there is a Lotus Orb on El Misho. I was gonna say I'd like to see a Lotus Orb to stop the Sunder play, and El Misho way ahead of me.
Yep. Had that queued up. So he's gone for. I mean, it's getting rid of a lot of things. It stops the Sunder play. It's going to get the silence off of him and his teammates. It's going to deal with the possible Fiend's Grip coming out from the Bane. Arrow Scouts, oh, it connects with Monster.
It does.
Oh,
and
no.
In comes Vitali, just keeping him silenced up. Mystery's on the backside. They take down the Gyro and a Fiend's Grip. He's 113 seconds without buyback. BKB still available. There's the Ravage, catches Analog. Is it enough to get him out, though, is the question. He's got no Astral Steps, trying to pop that regen. Looking for him in the trees. Analog, he's going to make it out. You lost the Baden. Analog, what a great play by him. Managing to barely survive, but now your high ground in trouble. How far? He's 90 gold. Waiting for that. He's 90 gold over the buyback cooldown, just 2 seconds away. And this is going to really hurt the gyrocopter if he's forced to use it.
Are they able to do anything about this one? I don't think they are. Did he swap in like a money orb or something? They found a courier.
They got Yodomi's courier.
But he's not going to. So they lose a Rax here. When they committed their cooldowns there, I feel like going back to the game before you lose your Rax might be worth it, but Gyrocopter doesn't seem to think so.
I mean, they got damage for this mid lane tower, a DD rune on the Death Prophet, as well as just this Terrorblade. They can go right through this backdoor protection. Creep waves now finally showing up. And Roshan, a decently long respawn here, about a minute and a half before it's going to be back up.
They opt not to go for another set of racks there. They'd be a little bit too greedy. 20 seconds left on the Gyrocopter. They're going to be angry when they get back up on Hokori, though, looking for kills.
Tier 4 jungle items. They've managed to find just the ninja gear.
Yeah.
Which will probably make its way on over to Bane eventually, but as of right now, gonna hold it on the Terrorblade until he finds something else.
Yeah, movement speed into Jolie is pretty nice. Keep himself hidden with the smoke factor on it as well. Spell person found on the Gyrocopter. That's gonna go to Void Spirit. That is such a good find. Any kind of cooldown reduction you get on that hero, it feels very sick. There you go.
Abaddon just sitting in the pit right now. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's something going on here. They're gonna walk right up onto the high ground. Divine Llama hits him with an arrow, but just gets bursted down. And comes the Dark Ascension blink forward from Vitali. Nice pushback. The question is, can they do anything here? They don't have the mana for Ravage once again. And Yuma does not want to commit after him as well.
Find the kill there on the Bane. Wasting no time there on the Night Stalker. They're turning their eyes to the Roche pit as well. Roshan's respawning. It's going to be Aegis Cheese and Refresher Shard. You can't afford to give this one up.
I mean, you gotta buy back, I think, but it looks like they want to just try and run in. Monster, you gotta get into this pit. RDO still has the BKB, and with the vision provided from this Dark Ascension, there it is. It's just too late. They instead jump the back line. They managed to get on top of Yuma. He pops that meta. Monster Ravage is available, but it's gonna be the Death Prophet on Mr. Jeans chasing down. They get Vitali. And that's all they get. It's not enough.
No, enough the Gyrocopter getting that sort of recovery. He's got a Satanic queued up now as well. Needs only like 1,100 gold to get this one completed. At that point, you're gonna struggle to bring him down. MKB, you are not even close to right now on the Terrorblade. You go for a Refresher Orb.
Well, Fiend's Grip. They managed to find the Void Spirit.
Big find. Got buyback, but you don't want to commit that. All of a sudden, this game has gotten very easy for D2 Hustlers. The Terrorblade feels huge. Gyrocopter, not as scary anymore. Still 4 minutes of the Aegis. But now they're looking to take this last outer tower. They've got most of the tools they need. I'm just a little bit concerned about Headhunter getting off a Ravager. He continue to stay relevant in these fights after he uses Ravage. It feels like between him and Divine Llama, they're like down a hero at the current stage.
Yeah, I mean, he can at least dangle on the Tidehunter, right? That's about it. Arrow does connect onto the Abaddon. But they're just trying to chip the tower here. Again, you're fighting into an Aegis on this Gyrocopter, which is not easy to deal with.
Force him back. Just another 20 seconds for the Void Spirit to come back up. I mean, by then, Fiend's Grip's going to be available again. They can just run it back. So, at this point, you need to start to look to end. You didn't want to take this late game against the Death Prophet and the Terrorblade, but now it doesn't look like you have much of a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. 8K gold lead now for the side of D2 Hustlers. I mean, this game was incredibly even up until about just 35 minutes, and suddenly pretty big advantage gold-wise, but the XP still on the side of Hokori is just massively favored.
I have found more kills this game. It looks like both teams are wanting to smoke up, by the way. They pop it on the radiant. I mean, if you hold this triangle position while you're smoked, you have a major advantage going into this fight. Analog, they catch
they
him
got
out.
the
There's
exorcism
as well.
They can
Just
disengage
disengage,
instead.
right?
No, they jump in. They want to go for Yuma, but he gets the Ravage. Gyrocopter still holding his ground. He's got this Aegis. Can they get these other heroes? Fiend's Grip manages to find Rubik on the backside. He gets him to sleep. Analog trying to run away. He's still got the cheese. He's going to be forced to pop it. Yules as well. El Misho goes down. Mr. G's chasing after Vitali. Can he actually get the kill, though? He gets the fear, but it's going to be the Terrorblade that goes down here to the Gyrocopter, and RDO still standing his ground. They're looking for more. Death Prophet, the last hope here for D2 Hustlers, but he doesn't have the damage anymore. The spirits, they've returned, and Analog continuing the chase. RDO, can they find Yadomi? Into the trees, he gets the blink. The watermelon goes down as well. 4 heroes die on the side of D2 Hustlers. You get 2 buybacks, but you don't get Gyro's second life.
Yeah, just on the supports you bought back on. Cheese was forced to pop there. RDO and Gardic, but they still got Refresher Shard. They could just pass it over to the Gyrocopter, let him use his BKB again, or let him double BKB in this next team fight. You want to force a buyback out of these cores here on D2 Hustlers, though. So they're running it straight down. You see last outer tower, Fortify available, but it's not going to buy them the full 60 seconds, or even 45 seconds they need for Tidehunter to come back up. Such a good initiation at the start of that fight. I mean, Gyrocopter was able to stand his ground there, get back up with his BKB, and then not get disabled. He took it.
All right, RDO starting the chip damage here onto the tier 3. Forge comes out for the moment. I mean, that creep wave got pulled out, but there are still some creeps bottom. They just go down. They'll have a little bit of time. Yeah, they're jumping in. They get the Mirana. Quick 1,000 damage crit from the Gyrocopter. Don't think into it too much, Neff.
All right, they're fine.
They're gonna back
1,000
out.
damage.
They respect
Very
Yuma.
Where's my pigeon?
There's the leveler on Gyrocopter that you were talking about. He's going to be happy to have that one. Timeless Relic now found as well. It's going to Void Spirit.
I'd imagine it is. He just does so much magic damage right now. As much as you like this spell Prism, well, it looks like he's gonna hold it. I guess you gave it to Rubik. Increased stun duration and damage out of your spellcaster isn't bad, but he's really favoring the spell Prism stats and cooldown reduction instead. Dude, this item is still so good, and it used to be so much stronger. Remember?
Telescope?
No, spell Prism.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Telescope as well. But Spell Prism was also very strong. I give you, like, what, 12 all stats at the time?
Yeah, it was 12 all stats and 20% cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
That was insane. Smoke up here on Hokori. Going to the triangle. Monster is going to get found. Silenced up once again. Trying to get himself out of here. The arrow comes through. Not going to connect, but he's just getting shredded here. Trying to make it into the base. Monster. It's not going to happen. 2 heroes dead without buyback. It's going to be Mr. James with BKB chasing after these other heroes. Trying to TP home now. He's going to make it. That's Exorcism BKB down.
Doesn't have a Refresher Orb available yet either, so I think they're just going to run down the mid lane. At this point, the Tidehunter's dead. He doesn't have buyback, which they don't know. Bane is down without buyback. So you try to end the game here. In the top lane, RDO continuing to farm. I guess he just wants a Satanic plus buyback before he's ready to sit up on the high ground. Doesn't feel confident yet with the amount of damage this Terrorblade does. You know, he does do damage. 3,600 HP armed with a Black King bar, or sorry, yeah, Daedalus and Monkey King bar. And now working on a Refresher Orb.
Looks like they are going to go ahead and try and threaten now and chip down this range barracks very quickly. RDO Swift Blinks to go for the melee, and they have no desire to engage here on the side of D2 Hustlers. And this tells them, you know, there's no buyback on the Tide.
Yeah. They're not going to be able to take anything else off of this one, unfortunately. Roshan, we'll figure out when he responds to another 50 seconds. At the very least, they do take a Rax, even things out, and I'm mid lane to shove in naturally. And I imagine they can start establishing vision around the pit right now with a little bit of control of the enemy side of the map.
What does RDO like sell for the Satanic, or is he gonna save for the Ag's Blessing?
Good question.
Radiant scan comes out onto the Roche pit. It's not actually capable of being up yet, so a little bit of a preemptive scan, but they're looking for these other heroes. Smoked up on 3. Not gonna find anyone.
I think he's probably just gonna get an Eggs Blessing before he. What did he just get rid of? Get rid of the Maelstrom.
Yeah, I was say, I imagine he just sells the Maelstrom or something. I don't know what else he could do.
That's like one of his more recent items as well, though.
I mean, he bought out for this, so. Oh wait, no, he sells it now. Okay, it had to make it back to base to be sold. All right, so he's got the buyback. 3 available for each team here. Terrorblade bought out himself. Has that refresher orb completed now. Yuma. We'll see if it'll be enough in the fight. Roshan respawning in about a minute. They'll be able to constantly scout this out with the Terrorblade.
I think that's what they're waiting for on the TB. They want to be able to grab the Aghanim Scepter and get himself the Terror Wave and refresher that in a team fight. They're trying to take things preemptively, but even though they get the jump and they pop the Dark Ascension, they're forced back.
And the only thing they commit is Moonlight Shadow. I mean, it is a decently long cooldown, but Arrow caught by Gardic. Not a good target to initiate on. Arrow almost catches Divine Llama. There it is, the backside Jeans. He's just gonna chase down the Rubik. That's the Blink Hex. And El Misho's on dieback now. Gardic gets caught as well, trying to TP home. Not gonna happen. I mean, both supports diebacking here right before the Roche respawn. Oh, he blinks out of the pit. They don't know, but the BKB pop from the Night Stalker and a Fiend's Grip from Yadomi. They got him, neph. They're turning it around here on D2 Hustlers. They take down 3 and they go right into Roche. All 4 components here.
This is exactly what you're waiting for on the Terrorblade. The use of this Terror Wave, double Metamorphosis, double BKB. This is going to be absolutely massive.
You gotta give the Ags to the Terrorblade, right? It has to be.
Yeah. All the waves are pushed in right now on Hokori, but again, it doesn't matter. Nobody on the map will accomplish anything, and now you're getting way too far out of control to be able to do anything. Gyrocopter and Mario.
All right, they're gonna keep the Shard actually on Monster. Yeah, okay, they want the double Ravage this time. Yuma now has Terror Wave available and an Aegis for 4 minutes, 45 more seconds, and now your high ground gonna be difficult.
Yep.
I like the Metamorphosis duration talent at 25 now, as opposed to like 300 Metamorphosis attack range.
It was just too far. Like, by the time you got to him, he'd already clicked you down. The duration makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah. There it is. Meta comes out. High ground in a lot of trouble here. Again, buybacks aren't necessarily available for a lot of heroes here on the side of the Radiant. It's not seeming to matter, though, as they've got the mid lane of Barracks now looking to go for the mega creeps here. Fortification will buy them a little bit of time.
The Tucker just about back up. He's got buyback available. They realized this. They tried to force it. Weren't able to get it off, though.
Jeans actually bought out his refresher as well.
Well, they're looking to end the game as quickly as possible here. They don't want to have them stall. I think as soon as Refresher Orb is back up on the Terrorblade, that's when they're going to go for the end of this game. Another 100 seconds. That's the timing that they're looking for here. And they'll have double Metamorphosis available, double Terror Wave. Mr. Jeans. Yeah, this guy is absolutely massive right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
he is.
Tidehunter's a massive issue as well. He's working on an Aeon Disc rather than a Refresher Orb, which I do think is good. Night Stalker seems to keep on getting on top of him and blowing him up in these fights, but at this point, Gyrocopter doesn't seem to do enough damage. I mean, you do a lot of damage with Swiftblade Gyro and you get on top of people with this Daedalus, but the Terrorblade, who has the evasion talent and doesn't even have a butterfly, he's got an MKB queued up because of that. I think at this point, you might just need to get a Divine Rapier, but even with it, I think that they have too much control. This Bane Yudomi here seems to keep on getting his hands on people. The Telescope making things even easier for him.
Yeah, Telescope, Fiend's Grip, with Blink Aether Lens. Like, it is not quite the same range as Rubik, but it's pretty good.
Yep. To scan things out so they know where they are. The TP the Bane to the top line. Now would be a okay time to take a fight,
Shadows
but they've got no
take us.
knowledge that Yudomi is up there.
I mean, he's actually gone for a Dagon 5 here on Analog. He just wants to be able to blow up these supports.
I'm not sure he's going to be able to, though. Supports is surprisingly tanky at this point.
Yuma's actually gone back for the Shard, now has Demon Zeal available.
Yep. I mean,
When you don't have boots at this point, you need the Demon Zeal. You need to be able to have mobility still.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Jeans, his smoke pops there. Dark Ascension comes out, and he gets the blink. Nice reaction from the Death Prophet.
I mean, it looks like they're just going to let them back off here.
I mean,
This is
this,
crazy.
this Aegis isn't going to get put to use.
No. Maybe you go for a kill afterwards, but yeah, like you said, they only have like 50 seconds left on this Aegis. They're not going to get the use out of it. You got Satanic queued up on the Terrorblade, but you know at this point you're like 7 slotted. You're not going to build anything else that you're actually going to use here. And this gives Hokori a chance to come back into it. Gyrocopter, he will get a little bit bigger. He's got his Aiden's Blessing queued up right now. Doesn't have quite enough surplus gold for it.
Yeah, he's going to need that Ag's Blessings. He needs to get rid of this and free up another damage slot. And one of the benefits of the Terrorblade is you didn't have to buy that.
Yeah.
So that 6k gold difference that you see between the Terrorblade and the Gyrocopter, just from that Roshan.
Yeah, he does. Get it now. Very good.
And there's the Aegis. Gets reclaimed there on Yuma.
TP queued up. Completed as well. So now 6 slotted on the Gyrocopter. Just like the TV. The only thing these people are missing now are moon shards.
Ooh, El Misho gets found by Yuma. Instant Hex into the Exorcism, and that's going to be a dead Rubik. Once again, the question is, can they find more? Vitali trying to chase after the Bane. Ravage comes out, doesn't find anybody. He pops the cheese. Yudomi, he might just go. He nightmares himself, dodge the missile. He's got the Fiend's Grip, but there's the refresher. The Ravage, and takes down the Gyrocopter and finds the Abad. And Jeans turning his attention on over, trying to take down the Night Stalker here. Yudomi bought so much time, but Night Stalker gonna make it out. Where is Analog going? Can they get Vitali? They do eventually. 3 heroes dead. Analog now trying to cut this creep wave. He actually runs right into Yuma. He might get him. He had the detection. That might have been a kill. And then instead, there's going to be a Sunder out. He pops the refresher. He's got to run. Instead, he grabs the kill quick onto that Bane. Dies in the process, though, as Mr. Jeans catches him with a Hex.
While in the base, you're forced to buy back on El Misho. Every one of your heroes had died. You were losing your tier 4s to creeps. I mean, everyone is available to come back into this one. I think you're trying to bait them in and go for a desperation play here. They don't have Ravage available. You could buy a Refresher and get it here. Void Spirit comes back in. Gyrocopter, it's just a matter of time. Flipping it out, they go for the tower.
You got to be so careful of these hexes coming in from this Death Prophet. Fort comes out for the moment again, just trying to stall this one up, and Yuma, he's got that refresher. Ooh, actually tanks an arrow for a moment. Mr. Jeans, no exorcism as well. I don't know if they can go for this. They don't have meta. They just leave.
8 seconds till gyrocopter's back up. I mean,
Analog's hunting. Hasn't seen anyone quite yet, though. He might get vision on Mr. Jeans in a moment. And a quick pause comes through.
oh my god. Well, it has been a long game so far. We're approaching the 1 hour mark. Tier 5 neutral items about to spawn, and for some reason gyrocopter now going for an Eye of Scotty. I guess he figures he needs more ability to chase down these heroes. It does serve a purpose against everybody except for the Tide. They're all range heroes, so there's the 50% slow off onto them. But again, I feel like you don't have enough damage to bring down the Terrorblade, right?
I mean, I don't know what you buy on gyrocopter. Like, like, what do you get rid of? Like, after you use BKB, swap in the Scotty or something? Like, or after you Swift Blink, swap in the Scotty? Like, I don't know what your options are here. You do need these other items.
Yeah, he didn't use the Swift Blink to great effect in the last team fights either. He jumped away from who was it that I got initiated on by Bane at the start of the last fight? I think it was the Abaddon? No, it was the Rubik, El Misho. He blinked away from El Misho, I think like 2 seconds before the fight broke out. And then after that, he was never able to get his Swift Blink off. Everyone just chased him around. So at that point, it's just like a glorified Blink Dagger that sometimes is able to provide, or it provides you 25 agility that sometimes acts as a Blink Dagger if he's not using it super efficiently. And he is not using it super efficiently. The Dagon Void Spirit is pretty funny. Like, great if you can jump on the backline, you can blow somebody up, but it doesn't look like he's able to get the jump off in any of these D2 Hustler heroes. Like, he puts himself so far in a position that his team isn't able to bring down the Terrorblade because of it.
Monster's got a refresher, by the way. It's being delivered on his courier right now. So level 25 plus with the 1 second Ravage stun and that refresher chart, or the refresher, might be enough for D2 Hustlers to try and close this one out. But like you said, tier 5 items coming soon. And they have been unable to claim this last lane of barracks.
And tier 5 items could make the difference this game as well. I mean, we don't have Ballista anymore, thankfully. That one was a serious issue, but at the very least, Fallen Sky, Pirate Hat, Apex, Zydian Desolator, these things give you the tools to rip through D2 Hustlers a little bit quicker and swing things back in Hokori's favor. It has been a little while since things have been in Hokori's favor, though. XP is still going their way by, like, I don't know, 2,000 or something like that, but net worth, win probability, all heavily favoring D2 Hustlers.
Honestly, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want video games. I don't want pause time, man. Hopefully we'll be good to go pretty quickly here.
Trying to see if there's any heroes that are getting close to their level 30. It's really just this Void Spirit and the Death Prophet, and
yeah, everybody's still reasonably far away.
Wow, the level 20 talent Death Prophet, 20% move speed slow on the Spirit Siphon with the shard is actually pretty good. So the level 29 is a solid pickup here for that Death Prophet if she gets it.
Yep. And she might at this rate. She's a little ways away from the Aghanim Scepter right now as well.
Queues up the Overwhelming Blink instead. She had this a while ago queued up, ended up going for the Sheep Stick, and now queues up that Overwhelming Blink. I actually do... Oh, wait. It's done. Wait a minute. Okay. Overwhelming Blink is done on the Death Prophet. I thought it was something he was just queuing up, but he's got it, and now we'll probably see that Aghanim Scepter as the next item.
Yeah. No buyback available, though. Still needs another 300 gold. So if you die here, you're dead for realsies.
Long Roche respawn, 2 minutes and 24 seconds. All right, they smoke up. D2 Hustlers, they want to try and force the objective here, and I can understand why. They've got such strong team fight. These exorcisms being put to really good use. They got the double refresher, triple refresher orbs, actually. And along the backside, they drop the ward. In comes Monster. He gets the Ravage onto 2. Can they actually find the Terror Wave? He's able to keep himself alive thanks to that orb, but you've lost the Night Stalker. Gardic trying to run away, but he catches the Hex onto El Misho as well. Mr. Jeans gonna find that kill. That's 2 diebacks. Or rather, not a dieback. Well, there's your second dieback. Night Stalker's buyback is up in 10 gold. The initiation from Monster, he finds him.
Yeah, that's our North American last hope. Bringing the game back here. I mean, Night Stalker is going to be able to come back to this game now, but I don't think they can take this fight 3v5. Even
Got
with
another EXO up. I don't know how it works. They're going to go and jump in. Anyway, Yuma just pops the BKB. He just focusing the throne, but turns his attention back over to Vitali. Can the Gyrocopter actually do this? There's going to be the BKB, the Refresher. He pops the Terror Wave, and that's a dead Gyrocopter. Buyback available. He's going to try and come into the game, but the GG already called as the Exorcism, as well as the throne, will collapse.
That's going to be a 60-minute game before Tier 4 neutral items come out. D2 Hustlers decide we're not leaving it to chance. We're going to close this out here and now, so end up taking game number 2 here from Hokori, and do get to see a best of 3 today, or a game go to the third game of this best of 3. I gotta say, amazing performance out of Yuma on this Terror Blade here. I was concerned for a little while the amount of damage coming up from Gyrocopter, but it just did not look like they could bring down Yuma, right?
Yeah, no, going late game, this Terror Blade was quite good, and the Refresher Shard pickups, or the Refresher Orb pickups from their roster ended up just paying so many dividends, giving them the double Ravage, the double Terror Wave, the double meta. But honestly, Mr. Jeans might be the MVP, finding some really big blink hexes in these fights, like always able to target El Misho on this Rubik and take him down, and it's those types of decisions being like, you know, it is a 4-position Rubik, but you can't allow him to steal things like Ravage. You can't allow him to, you know, get a Fiend's Grip and turn these fights back the other way. And just overall, really solid performance from D2 Hustlers to tie up the series.
Yep. So nice work out of them this game. And I'm very glad we get to see game 3 coming out here, man. It wouldn't be right without it. So North America's last hope, Monster. He continues to play on in this tournament. Sick Ravage at the end. Hopefully he gets the opportunity to play something else. But not setting him up for the best lanes here. Just first picking his TIE Hunter. Maybe he'll get the chance to pop off in this next game. But you know, amazing performances out of Yuma in this game. Yadomi as well. Caught a lot of people on his Bane. Even though he didn't have the best ending score, he ended up having a pretty big impact. But it's going to be for game number 2.
It is. And that being said, everyone, we've got game 3 after just a short break. So we'll be back with more here on the BTS Pro Series season number 8. See you in a bit.